Happy Friday, everyone. I don't know why the music just started playing when I went live. That was kind of weird. How are you all doing? I decided for this live stream, I'm going to do more name drawings because I've been having so much fun doing them, and they're sort of perfect for the live streams because it's very interactive, and I don't know. I just like doing them. Let me know in the comments if you like that I keep doing these lettering your names, or you'd rather see me do something else on these live streams. I'm very curious and want to do, you know, what you all want. Um, but I've been getting lots of requests for the name drawings, and they're fun. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do today. Um, I don't know. You guys, if you've been to my live streams before, you know sometimes I'm a little flustered on Friday morning. Mornings are a little tough for me, especially because my kid was sick last night, so he was up several times during the night, so I didn't get that much sleep. So that's what's going on. Just a couple little things. I drew this Wolverine in the style of Ren and Stimpy. You may have seen one that I posted in the community tab, but I gave him some bigger muscles when I was making a video for it. I know a lot of you wanted to see the the Garbage Pail Kids version, and the SpongeBob versions of X-Men. I think maybe I'm just gonna do all of them because it was so much fun to do this one. Um, in my community tab poll, the votes were split evenly three ways. They were all like 30%, which, not very helpful. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You let me down a little bit. But I'm curious about the audience that is here right now. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see X-Men drawn like Garbage Pail Kids, Ren and Stimpy, or SpongeBob. Someone actually sent me a DM saying I should do them like Bob's Burgers, and I like that idea too. It's fun for me to do weird mashups like this. Anyway, let's get Wolverine off the screen. Let's do a quick shout out to my channel members. I couldn't do this without you all. You are the best. All of my super supporters and above get their name drawn and included in all the videos that I make while they are active members. Here's the current lineup, except for one that is a recent addition that I will shout out in a minute when I go over to my iPad screen. But these people are the best. Thank you all so much. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, you get access to a special page on my website with a whole bunch of extra goodies on there. You get members only videos. There's a whole bunch of videos. There's a whole playlist of members only videos. Um, I often make new videos available early when I can get them done in time. That'll probably start happening more when I can get my shit together. Listen, we're in a weird stage in the YouTubing for me where my channel has grown pretty big and it's good, but not big enough that I can like fully transition into making this like the main thing. Like I still have to do client work to maintain, paying the bills and stuff like that. So um, that's the thing. If it keeps growing at the rate it is, I'll have more time to make this the main focus. Focus is not something I have. Okay. Do I have anything else I want to tell you about? Um, I guess I should just quickly shout out my new Skillshare class because I turned off monetization for live streams. So just a quick little promo. I have a new class on Skillshare that is an introduction to illustrative lettering, which is basically drawing pictures with words. Um, People seem to like the class. If you use the link below, you can get your first month of Skillshare for free if you're not a new member. So check that out. Um, all right, I guess we can switch over to my iPad so I can start drawing. But I should probably check in with the chat because I haven't done that yet. What am I doing? Jenna Hess, good morning. Nice to see you here in the chat. I hope you draw your name Skippy McHaggis. What on earth? Trent, nice to see you. Jake, how's it going? The good Chad, always nice to see you. Skippy McHaggis. Oh, I see. Happy Friday. I hope that I can draw that name. Just a quick note on the name drawings. Um, I do them first come first serve. However, you do have the ability, no pressure, but you can skip the line with a super chat of $10 and up. Obviously, I have to put it at $10 because otherwise you could just do like a dollar thing, and that wouldn't be fair to skip the chat, skip the line. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully. Um, Boomerang Extras, how's it going? Symbols. Jeebus. Is it say Jeebus? Or is it something else? I don't know. Nice to see you. Mark B, super chat. Skipping the line with the Mark R. Cool. Andra, JD, nice to see you. Channel members in the house. Tom Hewitt, how's it going? Via Lucia. That's a fun name to say. Thank you for that. How's it going? Ellie's at it. I do need a nap. Thank you. Tress, how's it going? Mackie Tarts. There's a lot of fun names to say today. Good morning. Skippy McHaggis, you said nice haircut. Chris, thank you. Thank you very much. Ooh. Jake, thank you so much for saying my Wolverine and Ren and Stimpy style is killer. Let's pop him back up. Oh yeah, there he is. It was very fun. I laughed a bit while making this. Diana Lisa, good morning to you. Got a lot of votes for Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is a fun style. I did a SpongeBob's Burgers because it was a fun pun. I was thinking that might be a fun video topic where it's just like I drew the dumbest SpongeBob puns I could think of, because I'm trying to be better at making videos that are a little bit more broad, and that seems like something that people might want to see. Let me know in the comments. Smash my thumbs. Can we get some likes in here? We only got 14 likes so far, and we got 61 comments in here. If we had a thumb for every comment, we'd be taking over the world. All right. Faded ink. Can you please explain vector bucket fill versus raster bucket fill? Please, I still get a gap between vector line work and the vector fill. There really isn't anything to explain, but for some reason it seems like sometimes the vector fill doesn't go all the way. I don't really experience this much, but people keep telling me it's an issue. Sometimes it's a preview thing, when you like zoom in on the file, it's not there, or if you like export a PNG and just see the graphic itself, it's usually fine. But if that's not the case, I would suggest doing like the feedback thing and like making a comment to Adobe, because they read those things. Hope Moreland, good morning. Lots of people here. Someone whose name is 345 blah blah. You said thanks for all the help. You've been watching my videos. Thank you so much. Oh, you're making custom tufted rugs. That is cool. Heart and Soul Medication and Apothecary. So glad you're here. Merso, nice to see you. Thank you so much. Jake, you asked if you could import an Illustrator file into Fresco in order to animate it. Unfortunately, not. You can't import a vector file, but what you could do is open that Illustrator file in Photoshop, and it would maintain the different layers. And then you could open up that in Fresco, which would defeat the vector part. But if you're animating it, then the vector doesn't matter because it's screen based, so that the vectorness is not a thing. So that's what I would do. Mike Phelps, yeah, I wouldn't say you're late to the game because I haven't done anything yet. Javier, you're not late. No one's late. I haven't even turned on my iPad yet. Oh, also, Last week, one of my channel members pointed out to me that I had spelled their name wrong. Actually, I didn't even spell it wrong. I used a different name in their drawing, and I just want to apologize for that again, and I'm going to pop the graphic up and just point it out. All the way to the right, third down, Marcus Rice. I used to say Maurice. I don't know why I changed your name to Maurice. That's ridiculous. But you're Marcus. You're not Maurice. I redrew your name. I'm sorry. Kuiko. Awesome. Anthony, how's it going? Gray Miller. Yeah, I do live streams every Friday, unless there's something happening and I can't do it. But normally every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And, today I'm going to be drawing some names. So let's switch over to my iPad. Quick shout out to the newest super channel member, Nintendo. Before we got started, I was trying to warm up and letter his name, and none of them turned out well, but these are just some rough sketches that I did trying to get warmed up. I'm going to have to revisit these. But shout out to you. Appreciate your support. If you're watching this, shoot me an email because you are a very special member, so you get some extra stuff. So you need to email me so that I can send you stuff and set stuff up. All right, let's make a new layer. Ellie's had it. You said, do you think adding audio to Fresco animations will be coming soon? To be honest, I don't think they're going to do that because of the way Fresco uses motion. Because there's not an actual timeline. Fresco, they actually call it motion instead of animation too, because it's about adding motion to an otherwise static image. It's like constant looping motion. I could see the argument that you could have like a loop of music in there, but it's not like it's not animation software like Procreate Dreams where you could do like a full short. It's just like looping constantly. So you can't like spread things out over a timeline, if that makes sense. But who knows? Maybe they'll add it. It just doesn't seem like the kind of thing that Fresco is for. Gray Miller, thank you so much. Okay, the first name that I'm going to draw is Mark R because he jumped the line with a super chat. So as always, I'm just going to simply write out the name so I can see it and then move the chat back down. But also, it's just, I find it to be a nice, helpful step in the lettering process. Just writing it down and you kind of get a feel for the letters and what's there. Javier, you said, what was, so Adobe has Adobe Animate. I don't use it. It's like Flash. When I have to do more complicated animations with like a timeline, I prefer using Photoshop for that. And I still prefer the tools in Fresco, so I'll often like create sequences in Fresco and then just bring them in to Photoshop if I need sequential stuff like a timeline to like pace things out or have things happen in a series. If that makes sense. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just started drawing this M. Sometimes short names like this are tricky, especially with just like one letter. Maybe we can use that one letter as like some sort of like anchor situation. Maybe like you can make it a 3D thing and then put the mark in that 3D area. Like, and then the K could go something like that. Let me turn on some background music so that I don't feel like I'm mumbling. Jeebus, you are talking about the symmetry. Symmetry is the thing that people ask me about the most. And to be honest, I don't really know anything. I'm not like an Adobe insider. Or I just like Fresco is the app that I use to draw in. I'm not like, I have nothing to do with Fresco. And I'm also like, I don't really think about the symmetry thing that much because I don't think I would even use it really, because I don't like things to be perfect. But I could see it like helping with speed or something like that. So anyway, I know it's been saying it's coming forever, and it hasn't. But I can tell you that Kyle Webster, who does work for Adobe specifically on Fresco, he has been testing it, and it's been like working great. So because of that, it means it's basically ready. So I think they're just maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in like the next round of updates. Okay, so I want to figure out if these can like connect in a little bit of a cooler way. So I'm just trying to rough this out and then see what happens. So what I'm gonna do to tighten this up is draw some like guides in. So I'll hold to snap that line. I think it'd actually be better if it angles up a little bit maybe. I just want to make it look clear that it's like an intentional up and not just like a crooked thing. Alright, so let's bring down the opacity here, and then maybe draw a vertical guide for this. I'm grabbing this drawing aid thing here to make this to like block in a shape for the R, so I get my horizontals and verticals somewhat accurate. I apologize for the sniffles. It's a combination of allergies and just, I don't know, something that my kid gave me probably. All right, this looks like a mess. Let's try to straighten this out a little bit. Okay, so I want to see if I can do something interesting with this K and R connection. I wonder if we could have like a little notch out of the R. If you are have been to my live streams where I letter names, you will know that the first one is usually a little bit of me getting a little panicky, a little flustered, because I'm not in the groove yet, and it takes a little bit to get warmed up. So you may be watching and being like, well, I don't know if he's gonna make it through it today. He seems like. But the good news is I usually come through. At least I think I have so far. I don't think I haven't really failed or bailed on any names. I've muscled through them. Okay, so my issue here is that I liked this idea, but I don't love how the K in the R like butt up against each other. So I'm thinking I might have to do something a little bit more creative there. Javier, you asked if I use Procreate Dreams at all. So I've used it a few times. I use it once in a while to like quickly animate over video, but for the kind of stuff that I do, it's not it's not as easy as Fresco. So what I mean is, like, my stuff is usually adding motion to an illustration. There's so many things that you can like do automated in Fresco, like that, you know, the paths, motion paths, and like I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's just like the layer, the way, like Dreams gets really complicated quickly, I think. So I don't know, I just find Fresco more intuitive, and the drawing tools. That's the other thing too. Like the drawing tools in Procreate Dreams are lacking quite a bit. And I use Fresco for everything else, so it's like it's seamless too. Like I like being able to stay in the same app. It's one of the reasons why I love that Fresco has vector too, because sometimes when I need to do vector, I can do it right in Fresco, and it's like all the same drawing tools. All right, so I'm trying to make this a little bit more playful. Maybe this arc and I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, let's duplicate this angle thing, and I just want to see what it would be like if we had like an angle on the R side too. Sometimes this stuff is just a lot of playing around, experimenting, and seeing what can happen. I do like that it's kind of works with this R shape, and then we could do this like leg thing. Might be a little much. Maybe we can do like how I'm roping you into these decisions by saying we. You're like, hey, I have nothing to do with this. This is your problem. And it is a problem right now. That's what we're dealing with. But I think so sometimes I will like do all that structure stuff and then have to just bail on the structure itself to make it more interesting and like less structured, because that doesn't really, I think I can get a little stagnant, so I'll like use that and then break away from it and try to loosen it up a little bit. So I think what we're gonna do is work from this. So I'm gonna grab a tire brush and just get into it. Actually, because of this structure, I think I'm gonna go with the vector, but I want to keep the grittiness, so I'm gonna use my, shout out to the gritty vector brush presets available in my shop. And here's a little promo code if you want to get them. So I made this brush to sort of emulate the inking brush that I like, which is the freaking, what is it? The classic inker from Retro Supply Co. And it is just a nice inking brush that has a minimal amount of pressure sensitivity thick and thin changes, but it does have just a nice texture. It's nice and clean, and this matches pretty well with it. So I'm gonna make this M have like a little curve thing to match what's happening with the R. I'll do that over here. So I'm drawing through these points so that I can use the vector trimming to make those lines nice and crisp. So this might be a situation where I like do it in vector to get these shapes right, and then I trace over it with a pixel brush so that I can give it a little bit more character. Sometimes I like to do that to make it a little less perfect, because you know, it's just nicer to draw with pixel brushes sometimes, most of the time. All right, let's trim this mess up. Oh, the sniffles are killing me. I'm sorry, it must be annoying to hear. I need a sniffle filter. They should make a sniffle filter for mics. Is that a thing? I still think the vector trimming like this, where you just draw through what you don't need, is one of the most satisfying drawing feelings ever. I think I'm actually going to move the R over a tiny bit. Nose blow. Whew. And I'm back. Alfonso, how's it going? What if you gave this shape another bend right at the K and R to avoid the weird point it meets? Let me read that again to get better comprehension. What if you gave the shape another bend right at the K and R? I don't know what you mean, but I have an idea that I just saw that I might want to try. So I might come in like this, and then go like this, and make a more wild R situation. I always like to sort of fit things into the spaces that are made up from like other letters, like that little notch. I think I'm gonna change the K to fit that a little bit better, but I think it can be fun. I just like the way things fit together like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, oh, I made a new layer. I cut that off. Cut that off. All right, so what I'm thinking is I just push that up a little bit, make it a little bit more dramatic. All right, and now what I want to do is delete all of this mess. So I want to make the I want to separate. I like that it's marker. I I didn't notice that. I want to make this mark lettering, maybe both of them, but at least this one, like, have that like 3D look going into the R. Merge those down. Let's do the same thing on this R. And then I think I just want to try one thing to separate the R from the mark a little bit. I'm gonna see how it would look if I do like a little inset line in here. I think it could add a little bit of style. No, I think that's not working because of the change in thickness. I think it's one of those things that might need like a pop of color, but I think this looks pretty cool. I'm happy with it. Hope you like it too, Mark. Move that up there. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, so that was the last super chat at the moment, so that means I can go back to the main chat, scroll to the top. The first person in the chat is Jenna Hess, so I am gonna draw your name. Jenna helps me out with assistant stuff in the background. She's pretty great. Thank you, Jenna. But now I gotta draw your name. Aaron, good morning. Thank you. All right, let's get back to my sketching brush. I like to sketch with the Retro Supply Co. the Scumbler. Both of these brushes, both of my favorite pixel line work brushes, so the line work brush that I use is a classic inker, and the Scumbler is my sketching brush. They're both in their liner set. So there's a link below is what I'm trying to say. Let me tell you, it is hard to do two things at once when you got the ADHDs. And by two things, I just mean talk while I'm trying to draw. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Maybe some like fun, bubbly-ish, whimsy letters. I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it right now and seeing what happens. Maybe like the J have a top piece. I don't know. Got two S's. That's something. I don't know what that means. I mean that like maybe they can fit together in an interesting way. I don't know, I'll have to see. Sometimes to get started, you just gotta like scribble something down and just keep moving stuff and see what's happening. And then maybe nothing will happen, but it could come together. You just find like things that are similar. So I'm like noticing the J has this little curl, and that's sort of lining up with this curl that I put on the A, and sort of intuitively, but maybe that should be like a lowercase a. I don't know. What I like to do now is just bring down the opacity and then like draw over it and see if there's like new things that I find. So like maybe I should go in and draw the A like a fun, fancy lowercase a. And then maybe we can go with that sort of playful style, but with like mixing case, like uppercase and lowercase. So maybe like this N is a lowercase n. I don't know. Maybe this E is a lowercase e. Maybe they connect to the N. Like starts to be almost cursive or something there. But it's an uppercase N. See? It's just, sometimes you just go wild. You're just breaking all the rules. You're like, that's not how that works. But you know what? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's maybe we're starting with like a lowercase h down here. So we can curl up like that. And then maybe this comes down, and then this is a weird uppercase h. Maybe this tail connects to the S. And like, this may look, I can't tell if this looks so crazy to you, because like I can see through the mess a little bit. But remember, the process can look messy, and I think that's a good thing, because it like allows you to play and experiment. Because if you just try to, like if I just went in and tried to draw this like looking great from the start, I wouldn't have like found these like fun little connections that are happening by just sort of playing. So keep that in mind. Thanks, Mark. Glad you like your name drawing. Okay, so what if this H, can it connect to, can we get like a little looper action coming in here? Can it work? It might work. I think we should try. Making the E a little bit smaller. Then we got this lowercase n. I'm having fun. We're having a good time here. Get this E in here. I wonder if it would be too much to try to connect the S's with like a little swirl situation, like a little loopy thing. I don't know. It might be tricky. But I don't want that to be the JH combo to be like the only connection like that. We could have the A come down maybe into the S. Kohiko, thanks for the super chat. Okay, let's see if this A, I don't want to push it too far because it could get tricky to read, but I think if it was low. I don't even know what's happening there. That's not even like a loop. That doesn't even make sense. We're bailing on that. That does not work. Let's think about this logistically over here. So if this cut over like that, okay, that could happen. And then this could go like that. All right, that's a hot mess, but I can see that that could connect. So I think the problem is I think this loop is too big. So I want to make it a little bit smaller. And if this comes up. Okay. I think we're just gonna get a little wild with Jenna's name. So I think I want this loop to go behind, and that way it'll help the to make it read a little bit easier. And I think the H can overlap, but maybe not as high up, just a little bit lower like that. Okay. And then I think this E can be a little bit smaller. That, okay. All right, I think we're gonna commit and just make it work. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of this other stuff. I'm also gonna do this one in vector so that I can draw through some of these lines and then just kind of cut out what I don't need. But I want this to be cleaner lines. I feel like this shouldn't have a gritty line, so I'm gonna use my crispy vector preset, which is a nice clean liner brush. Okay, so I think this J should be a little bit thicker. And this can come down. And I can just draw right through the letters since I'm working in vector, and I can just do the trimming easily. Making the H a little less, well, maybe not that much less, just a tiny bit less wide. Well, that was a satisfying long line. too long. Back in the scene. All right, let's do some trimming because this is looking like a mess right now. I can't concentrate. Oh, you know what happens? Since I was doing those such long continuous lines, if you loop over the same line, the vector trimming doesn't work. So that defeats the magic I was hoping for. But that's okay, we can make it work anyway. So I'm like mixing and matching what overlaps with what. For example, like the E is on top of the lower E, but then the S is above there. I think it's just kind of a playful thing. So like maybe I'll have that part of the E overlap the top, but then this one goes behind it. So they're just sort of like bubbly letters bumping into each other. I don't love this. It's not committed enough to like how far it's going back. So I'm gonna redraw that there. Let's see. Yeah, see, I did such a good job drawing those long continuous lines that I can't trim them because they don't cross over themselves. That's okay. We can manually do it. So we can just double tap and get the blue in the center to use it as an eraser, and then I can just come in here and erase the lines. What the heck in the world? These vector trims are all messed up because I was so good at drawing long continuous lines that they're the same line. And you need to have crossing lines for the trimming. Tonia McCaskill finally made it to a live. Really enjoyed your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Andrew J, you said, love the swirls. Thank you. Okay, so I think what I want to do is just put a shape around the whole thing and then fill that in, because I think it'll make it read a little bit easier, because it'll make it less like a bunch of lines and make it look more like shapes or letters. I mean, I don't know if that's clear, but I think you'll be able to tell visually when I finish doing this. Okay, so what this is going to do is allow for gotta put it all in one layer. It's going to allow for the negative spaces between the letters to be emphasized and isolate the letters themselves so it reads a little bit easier. And there's a couple little spots that I need to fix, like this the E. I think we just want to make this smaller, the middle one a little bit smaller. And then I think this, I don't like, that overlap doesn't seem intentional enough there. Yeah, I think it's kind of fun and playful. Hope you like it, Jenna. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Move it up there. Tony, you said, do you think Fresco will ever come back to Android? As far as I know, Fresco has never been on Android. They built it for the iPad and then they adapted it to Windows. Oh, Faded, you said, what were you saying about vector with motion animation? For some reason, it not mattering being vector or... okay, so if you are animating in Fresco, it doesn't matter if it's raster or vector, because animation is tied to the screen. You know what I mean? You're not going to be printing an animation, so you don't need that like super high resolution. The only time vector would be important for animation is if you were using animation software that utilizes vector artwork, something like Adobe Animate, where you could control the shape that way. But if you're animating in software like Fresco or Procreate Dreams that doesn't use vector shapes as part of the animation, the vector aspect is just a complication. It's going to make, a laggier file, because every vector shape is made up of paths and points, so it's constantly having to recalculate as it goes, as opposed to just a static image. So in that way, if you're animating in Fresco or Procreate Dreams or anything that's not a vector-based animation software, it doesn't matter if it's raster or vector. Okay, so next up is Kohiko with the super chat. Let's write that down. I need to organize my brushes better because I get lost. Okay. K-O-H-I-K-O. Knockout. Okay. Case 9, you said, have you messed with Affinity programs at all? I have Affinity Designer and I've been meaning to play around with it more. To be honest, I tried messing around with it once, and then like because there's that like learning curve with new software, like I couldn't figure out how to do anything, so I need to like spend more time, watch the tutorial, and it's hard to make time for that right now. But like, I don't know, sure, it seems like people can use them as an Adobe alternative. For me, as someone who's like does this for a living, and I know there are people who use Affinity and do it for a living, but so often I'm needing to like deliver files and like, Photoshop files or Illustrator files or whatever. It's like, Adobe's still that like industry standard. So, it's what it is. I've been using it forever too, and it's like what I'm comfortable with, and I like their programs. So, that's the situation for me. But yeah, you can. It seems like they, from what I've heard, that they are and can be. And I know some people have replaced their Adobe applications with Affinity. I think I saw recently that like Canva bought Affinity, so who knows what that means. I'm just playing around right now. I don't really know what I'm doing with this, but I'm experimenting. I don't think I like where that's going, so I'm just gonna make it smaller, move it to the side right now, and try something else. Kevin, you said my Fresco vector brushes changed how you felt about Fresco. That's awesome. So glad to hear. I really appreciate that. I'm just experimenting over here because I don't really know what I want to do. So sometimes it's just like drawing random things and seeing if it goes somewhere. I think this is starting to feel interesting. So at this point, I'm just gonna try to play around with it a little bit more. So maybe this. The H maybe can connect. No, I don't think that will work because the H will start to get a little bit hard to read. Nope. I apologize. I'm slightly distracted. My kid left right before my live stream to go spend the day with my sister, but he wasn't feeling well yesterday, and now I hear them upstairs, and I'm wondering what happened, if maybe he is sick again, and they had to come back. Just a little insight into my life right now. So I was trying to not pay attention to the noises I was hearing, but then I was also like, I wonder what is happening. So I like the way these letters are all starting to fit together, but I don't want it to lose the energy of being like too tight. So I want to just mess with this a little bit more and see what areas I don't love. Let's just check to make sure. Okay. Kyler is talking. Hey, Jamie Moret. Jamie's one of my bestest friends that I've known forever, and his son is Kyler. Shout out. Well, Kohiko, thank you for saying my kid's more important, but like, you know, my wife is up there. It's okay. I just want to know if like what my day's gonna look like, if I'm gonna be able to continue working after this, because I got a lot going on, or if it's a sick day. Okay, so things I don't love was like the double angle on the K. Started to look maybe like an X or something. Okay, I don't love that. I want maybe the H to kind of come up higher, and then maybe the K go like that. So I don't want things to line up perfectly, because then it'll lose some of that energy. Maybe we get some points too, some sharp areas. That might be cool. And this eye, I don't want the eye to get lost, so it might need to be a little bit longer. Oh, you know what we could do? One trick for if you're doing something tricky with an eye like that is to like put a dot on it, and that'll help it a little bit more. And I could just like break that line there for the top of the K as like a connection. Jamie, are you still in the chat? Can you maybe you could text Shayna and give us an update on what's happening? Okay. Now I missed this. Oh, you know what we could do? Maybe we'll do that. A pointy thing. And then maybe this is another pointy thing. More pointy things, I think, is what we need. All right, let's you know what's weird? I'm not doing all vector, but I feel like this is another one that needs to be vector because of the sharp points. Let's do the gritty one for this. VV Sharpie in the house. Lines, longer lines drawn. I want to exaggerate the angles too now. Make them a little sharp. Sure doesn't sound sick up there. Hear him yelling about stuff. Oh, Jamie is not Jamie, it's actually Kyler watching. Hey Kyler, how's it going? Glad that you are here watching. Alright. So we want to be careful with this H. So I don't want it to not read like an H, because we're really pushing the limits, but I think we can... I think by making the middle line almost straight, I think that helps. Though I think this needs to have more of Test. Hey everyone. We okay? I forgot that the newer mic that I was using needs to charge. So hopefully it looks like my sound is back. Sorry about that. Testing. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so my I got another microphone so that it's easier for me to record, because this one, the white one, it only works connected to my computer and not directly to my camera, so recording was annoying. So I got a nice new microphone, and I enjoyed using it so much that I was using it for the live stream, because I don't have to have a mic in my face because it's mounted up here. But I forgot that it's a mic that requires being charged. So the battery died on it, because it lasts a really long time. So it's one of those things that you forget that it actually has a battery. Because I haven't charged it since I got it, so that's how long it lasted. I'm blaming Kohiko's aura. That's what he said. So I was drawing his name, and then my mic died. So it is his fault. All right, let's turn this stuff off and see what we're dealing with. See if I have made something good, or if I have failed. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that. I'm the worst. I'm distracted and flustered, and I'm sorry for doing that to you. I think I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so we're gonna just try this 2 ways real quick. So let's duplicate it. First option is we just go in and fill in the letters. Which I kind of like, but real quick, let's just try the like sort of 3D thing. So I'm not like doing exact in terms of like dimension, or you know how the 3D thing would work, obviously, but I'm just sort of making it coming into the center and then using like spots where the lines naturally connect. All right. I don't know. Which do we like best? It's tricky. I think I like the solid color one better. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I've got to call it a day. I got to go see what's going on upstairs, and you know, hope you guys like this. Thank you, Hamdi. I appreciate that. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. New video on Tuesday. It might be the X-Men Ren and Stimpy one, but I'm also working on a series of Fresco videos. One of my most popular videos on the channel is like an intro to Fresco video, and it's a very old video and could be much better. And I was thinking of doing a series where I break down into sections, and the first one is going to be just all about brushes in Fresco, so stay tuned for that. Next Friday, I'll be live streaming again. Let me know. This video is going to go up on the channel right after this. All my live streams are always available. They're unlisted, but if you go to the live streams playlist, you can find them all there. I just have to keep them unlisted because otherwise it messes with my channel analytics stuff. So you can find them there. Partho, unfortunately, I gotta end it here, but I do these often, so make sure you're subscribed and bell rang and all that kind of stuff, so you get notified next time I'm going live. I'm over here trying to find my graphic. There we go. Okay. Thank you all. See you next Friday. New videos on Tuesday. More to come. Appreciate you all.